Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
Now, if you are watching this, then Merry Christmas. It's
Mm.
probably watching this either Christmas Eve, maybe Boxing Day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the holidays, and if you're in the Christmas spirit, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. To the channel.
Algorithm.
Exactly. Yeah. Apparently there's hype points now on YouTube.
Mm.
You can hype the videos. So yeah, maybe it's like, hype, and subscribe now.
That's nasty.
But look, we're back with another episode. We're not skipping out, even though it is the holidays.
It feels like it's been a while though, or maybe like because we did one last week, right?
Yeah, we
but
did
it
one
feels
on
like
Monday before the Man United Bournemouth game.
I guess it's just because there's been football like every day of the week. But it's but like
and a lot has happened.
Yeah, a lot has happened,
which we will cover and get into today. But yeah, we should be good. I think last year we took a week off for Christmas, but with the way the days are falling and the games are falling, I think we should be able to get an episode out next week as well.
Yeah.
And there's some midweek games next week. So yeah, looking forward to a busy schedule. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. And look, speaking of Christmas, there is one team that is top of the table at Christmas, and that is Arsenal. And that is where we're going to start. I considered starting maybe with Tottenham, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, but we got to start with the team that's top at Christmas.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And
that's fair enough.
Before guys start getting in their feelings, we know you don't win anything at Christmas.
I was about to say as well, I feel like top at Christmas used to mean something.
Yeah. You know, Arsenal, the last 4 times have been top of it.
Exactly. I feel like we've taken away, not just us to be fair, because I remember there was a time or two when Liverpool were top at Christmas and they also didn't win the league. But for the last, 6, it used to be like top of Christmas. So, how is anybody gonna? And now it's like,
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
And now it's just like, see you in March. See you
exactly. But look, just for the sake of it, it's a good segue. It is Christmas time and we are top. So Arsenal went to Everton, 1-0 win at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. First time we've been there. And guys are saying it was 1-0 and a penalty and trying to talk down. And I see it as Gyökeres winning us 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it should have been more than 1-0. I see both sides of the coin. Like, obviously we talked about last week how we were in a bit of a rut, and Wolves, I was even saying it's like contextually one of our worst performances, just because of Wolves being dead last, bottom of the table, still no wins, and us needing a good performance. Everyone was expecting us to beat Wolves, but like the performance just wasn't as if we wanted to beat Wolves, or maybe we tried our best, but the quality or whatever wasn't there. And I didn't know what to expect going into this game. I was actually quite nervous. So I see both sides. If guys were upset about the performance, I kind of hear it. It wasn't like the most breathtaking performance. But at the same time, it wasn't like a 1-0 game or a 2-1 game like the Wolves one was the other day, where we were playing with our food, or maybe a little bit. But it just felt as if there was actually, chances created and shots that should have been put away. And it should have ended up a 2 or 3-0 game, as opposed to like a just drab 1-0 or a scrape job, just get out of there with what we can type of vibe. I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah. I actually think it was a decent performance from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Especially away from home. Everton are in some good
Tough
form.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were missing some players.
I don't know how many times they've lost it. I don't think it's too many times.
Yeah.
I know Crystal Palace beat them.
Yeah. And before they played Chelsea last week, at Stamford Bridge, they were 5th, so they can't be that far off.
And Tottenham beat them at their place, but I think that might be the only 2 teams that have won there.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, so I thought Arsenal did all right performance-wise. Like you say, the game should have been 2-0.
Yeah,
at least Trossard should have scored.
Yeah,
Zubimendi hit the post.
I thought Saka is like for who you are.
No, you need to score
exactly for who you are.
Like there was time and space to take a touch in that situation. So look, obviously that's a conversation that we've had many a time for many a year about players not taking their chances and things getting techie.
Exactly.
That's just is what it is. On another day, Trossard maybe bags that one, and maybe the Zubimendi one clips the post and goes in. So that's all right. Like you say, it wasn't like the Wolves game where we didn't have a shot on target, and then the goal we do score comes off the back of the goalkeeper's head, and it's an own goal, right? And that's at home. Yeah. The point we were making last week is like we can't. That we don't need to be going around saying that's a performance of champions coming.
Exactly.
To win at home to Wolves.
Yeah,
This one at
yeah.
Everton, though.
Yeah.
I think the biggest point for this one at home, and you're saying obviously you're a bit nervous before the game and whatever. I feel like a lot of that comes from Man City being top.
Yeah,
at
I actually
kickoff.
didn't even. As much as I knew they were top, I refused to look at the table.
Yeah,
because it would have added to my anxiety going into the into the game.
And obviously because I think they have a better goal difference. A point would have meant that they stayed top.
Yeah,
just that of like Arsenal, obviously having the start that we've had, which has been fairly good, and then ending up second.
Like Christmas and stuff.
Yeah, with Man City, I think mentally that's what I'm taking away from the game more. Mentally, that seemed to be a big one of like, okay, well, look, Man City have now really put the pressure on. They are top of the table, and we have to go away from home to Everton now and get the job done, which we did.
Yeah, I think as well, the positives as well I took from this was we beat Everton, to be fair, away last season, but
no, we drew.
Oh, did we draw?
Trossard scored, and then Jermaine and Jai got a penalty.
Oh yes, that was. Oh yeah, yes, you're right. So they took. Yes, yeah.
So we're actually up 2 points.
So that's what I was gonna say, because I definitely remember the draw at home being like a knife in my heart. I remember that being a knife in my heart. But all I remember from last year's game was the Trossard one. But you're right about the penalty.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a positive of just we're still making up on points that we were dropping out last year. As much as like performances are what they are, or the vibes, for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks haven't been what they were when we were beating Tottenham and Bayern Munich and all those kind of guys. But this team still is progressing, still is showing signs, and we haven't. I didn't expect it to, but we haven't folded. It's, as you say, we're not top at Christmas. We haven't thrown away a 7-point lead or 5-point lead or whatever it was in December. I just think honestly we just gotta keep like plugging along. Like guys are just coming back. We saw a tweet today saying Havertz is back. So this team has more guys coming in, more levels to reach. There's more for Arteta to figure out in terms of who best fits where and who's in the best XI or who's in form, all that kind of stuff. I just think we got to keep plugging away. And I like, to be fair, what Saka and it's a bit of just football. Like, it might not be true, but they're saying at the end of the game, like, we just got to focus on us and we don't watch the City game. We don't even know the results or the scores. We just have to keep winning. We're top of the table. And if we win our games, we'll win the league. And I do respect that. I do just think that kind of is what it has to be.
Yeah.
Us as fans, we do podcasts and stuff. We talk about a lot of other football stuff. We should be the ones who are like over anxious, over nervous about City and what they're doing. But if you're an Arsenal player, you should be thinking that, well, it's still in our hands. I'm not checking City results to see if they're losing or drawing or whatever, because if we beat Everton, if we beat Brighton and Bournemouth or whoever's next, then we'll stay top.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
And as Arsenal fans, we're checking the table, we're analysing it. To win this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing all the maths, For the Arsenal players, that's what Saka and them guys are coming out with. That's obviously, I feel like, what's been preached to them by Mikel Arteta for the last 2-3 years, probably. That just focus on yourselves. And I don't think the Arsenal players are really looking at the table at all till March. I think at the moment, like you say, they're just trying to get their work done on the pitch. And look, obviously, this game was 1-0. And we had a conversation last week about Victor Gyökeres.
Yeah.
An Arsenal striker, and we said we needed more, but not at all throwing the towel in or anything like that. But we just needed some more. And shamelessly, I'm going to claim this.
I was about to say,
that's 3 points won.
I'm going to find it tough to get onto him for this kind of game, because this is the kind of game I've been asking for for so long. Like, I said it the other week about how in the games where Gyökeres doesn't score, like, I hear the criticism of how much is he doing and his link-up play. I was saying last week, I just want him to be a bit more threatening, and I'm not necessarily sure we got all of that today, but we got a goal today.
Yeah,
we got a winner. We got 3 points today, and I've always said I'll take those games over anything from Gyökeres. Like, Gyökeres can be as awful as he wants, but if he scores the goal that we need to get us the points that we need, no complaints from me.
And that's something that we've been consistent on since the summer.
Yeah. That's what we're going to judge him on.
When we signed Gyökeres, still, I think I said in the summer, like, and we'll get there, because obviously Gyökeres has scored this week, so we can have some Benjamin Sesko conversations. But I said in the summer that Benjamin Sesko is probably a better footballer.
Yeah.
And they can have that, but I still want Gyökeres because João Pedro is probably a better footballer.
Yeah.
is probably a better footballer, but I don't really care about any of that because I don't think any of those players are better footballers than Kai Havertz. Right, so we don't need that. The Gyökeres piece, he comes in, he scores the penalty, great penalty.
Yeah.
Penalty that makes me feel safe.
Safe, bro. Super safe.
Lashed home.
Super
Harry
safe.
Kane-esque, Alan
And do you know what,
Shearer-esque.
And they were trying to do it. They were speaking about, is it 9-10 games without a goal now? How much pressure is on your career at this? Before the commentator can even finish. Then it's done.
He seems to have that knack of ending that.
Yeah. As soon as it gets too much.
Yeah, when the talk starts getting. But I can't lie, I was worried when I saw Odegaard standing over the
No, but I was worried as well, but I knew that he's way too mentally fragile.
I was like,
to take the away one.
I don't think you want to do this, bro.
Not away from home.
But my overall point being that's what we bought Gyökeres. If Gyökeres scores a penalty and we win 1-0, I have no complaints with that. Yeah. And if, like you say, if Gyökeres doesn't really do anything else in the game, but he scores a goal, that's all I've been asking for.
That's all we've needed. We've seen Havertz do bare stuff, but not score a goal.
Exactly. And obviously, if Havertz scores a goal, great, we'll give him the praise and whatever. But I'm asking Havertz to do the link-up play and do the triangles and everything else, the intelligence, because that's what we get from Havertz.
I also, because I'm sure there's some Arsenal fans that are going to be annoyed about the Gyökeres narrative. We've been saying it, how it's going to be there regardless this season, whether he score or doesn't score, it's going to be there. And guys are going to get onto Gyökeres. There's still the questions of, is he doing enough and all of this kind of stuff. If Gyökeres, for example, had the Robert Firmino game, but we're bringing it down, we're bringing guys into play, he's linking it up, but we drew 0-0 away at Everton. But all the other fans, all the Liverpool fans, all the Chelsea fans, all the United fans are saying, oh, we finally seen the player there, and oh, this is what Arsenal have been looking for the whole time. He does a bit of everything. He brings it, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the other fans praising.
We don't need that. We don't need that.
I wouldn't want other fans praising Gyökeres for a complete all-round Benzema-esque game, but we've drawn 0-0 away at Everton.
Yeah.
Bro, if you don't perform but you're bagging the goals,
look, ultimately, he's not here to do that. Yeah. So I'm not going to ask him to do that. Yeah. Gyökeres is here to score goals. And at the moment, he's halfway to 10 Premier League goals. So
right there, man.
We take that, we move.
100%.
2 games away from halfway in the season.
Did you say highest scoring Swede in the league?
Oh,
we'll go.
We can get there. We can get there, innit? That's the thing. Like, Gyökeres, obviously, because he plays for Arsenal and everyone likes to talk about Arsenal because they're such a massive football club, the talk's going to be on him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's got more goals than João Pedro.
Yeah, he does.
Then, to be fair, Watermar the back the brace, so I don't know.
No, I think
maybe
Watermar does a bit.
Yeah. And obviously Sesko. But look, it doesn't matter. We won 1-0 and
Cunha.
Good game from Trossard. The attack still needs to up it a bit more. We had the conversation last week. I have a higher expectation of Saka than all the other attackers, and I still think that we can get more from Saka. Martin Odegaard obviously started, and Eze was on the bench.
Yeah.
And I think Odegaard played all right. Like, he wasn't poor, he wasn't great. There were a couple moments where I thought his final
was poor,
could have been better. But in terms of obviously our control and our ability to progress the ball forward, he helps with that a lot.
Yeah.
However, the one thing I'm going to say is that at some point, to be fair, that point has already passed. Yeah. But at some point, I am going to need you to score a goal.
Yeah. Or look like you want to.
Like, all this other stuff is nice and it does help. I'm not putting that away, but you are a 10. We do need more goals. I'm going to need you to.
I'm not mad at that. Like, I'm not like that. I'm not mad at putting the expectation onto Odegaard's feet to score goals. Obviously, he has the quality to do it. Yeah, but I'm also at a point now where it's like watching a basketball player and like taking it to the rim or shooting the three is just not their game. And we're asking him to do something now that after like 5-6 years in the league, he's just not proven. He's like, Odegaard's just at a point now where as much as you're right, as much as there should be pressure on him, he's the captain. He's one of the highest paid players at the club. He plays in the 10. Everything indicates that this person should be scoring goals for the club. It's just that he himself has shown us for the last 2 years now that it's just not a priority for him. Like it's not
Yeah.
even on a tick list of have you had a good game, whether or not I've been a goal threat today.
Yeah,
He just doesn't put it there for him, which is annoying. And I know, and you're gonna keep putting it on him, which is fair.
Because the thing is, last year, the call kind of accept that towards the end of the season, I wanted to see more of Ethan Nwaneri, but obviously when Odegaard came back in the team, Ethan was kind of phased out, whatever. However, this year, obviously, if Odegaard's not a 3-point shooter, let's call him Russell Westbrook. Yeah. If the team has Russell Westbrook and they have Jalen Brunson, and Russell Westbrook is getting this nod, and Jalen Brunson is holding bench, I'm going to need Russell Westbrook to score some threes.
No,
because the guy on the bench here,
in
this case, as Jalen Brunson,
yeah.
He will do that. He will score threes.
Yeah. And it's nasty because Russell Westbrook in this case has the franchise tag, has the money, has the armband, is the guy you can't move. So, as I say, you're not wrong for putting those expectations on his feet. It just seems so clear to me that like Odegaard just doesn't want to, or doesn't feel as if he needs to be a goal threat himself.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we should ever get to a point where we accept that.
We accept that. And I know. I'm almost halfway there.
That is how it is.
I'm almost halfway there.
We just can't, because like I said, not only Jalen Brunson, but I don't know who should we compare Ethan to?
VJ Edgecombe, young up and comer.
Cooper Flag. We've got Cooper Flag there as well. Yeah, who can come in and do what he needs to do.
No,
so
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% that like, and I'm saying maybe even a little bit less of like, all right, the goals might not come themselves, but Odegaard, there has to be a threat. Like you've got to, in NBA, you've got to at least fake the 3, pump fake 1, get like at least pretend as if there's a venomous shot that you have, or pretend as if there's a bag that you can get to where you can score goals. Like right now, it just seems as if no matter what, bro, you're pass first. Like no matter, even if you were straight through and go 1-on-1 with the keeper, you'd be looking to sweep, you'd be looking for the cutback, you'd be looking for the back heel to find someone else to take a shot. And it's unfortunate and it shouldn't be right. But to your point, I don't think he was awful. I don't think he was necessarily amazing. He was involved in some good stuff. He had some passes that guys should have made something of. He had some passes that he should have laid on the plate for guys. It is what it is. It's kind of frustrating, but you're right. Like we have options now. It's not even like Odegaard or nothing anymore. So it's up to Arteta.
Yeah, right. And look, the defense, they did their part. We spoke last week about the defense needing some more respite.
Yeah. I wanted to shout out Calafiori though. I guess and Ngapi, but Calafiori for real because
yeah.
I thought he was one of our better performers on the day, and this kind of game for me was just like, like it's not. Cala has great games where he's involved and it's left foot, right foot, and
right wing.
Yeah, we all know those games. But this game was, I guess, not more impressive, but this game really made me happy because it was just like solid. It was just like, nothing to report.
Yeah,
like my side is locked
defensively solid.
I've got this side locked down. I'm running my aerial duels.
There actually wasn't too much going forward.
I'm progressing it's not even like a dumb challenge or a yellow card foul or whatever it is. This is just locked in. This is a 7-8 out of 10 performance, and there is nothing to say much about it. We can move on to next week.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Carragher did his team of the season so far, and he had Calafiori at left back. I think that's fair. I think this season, between him, maybe Cucurella, if you want to throw him in there. Look, we didn't obviously get that respite because it was still only 1-0, so I want to give the defence their props. Like you say, Hincapi as well, Saliba, Timber again, all of them Raya. But look, 2025 is coming to a close, and Christmas is a time sometimes you reflect. And I was just thinking about it the other day because, as per usual, every couple of days the video comes up on my timeline, and obviously they gave Bukayo Saka man of the match. I think it probably should have been Declan Rice or even Victor Gyökeres, to be fair, but I would have given it to Declan Rice. And the video I'm talking about is obviously the free kicks against Real Madrid. Obviously, that happened back in March, and Declan Rice's 2025 year on the whole just went now, like months after the Real Madrid fixture and whatever, and I look back on those free kicks and I think that
it's mad.
Yeah,
it's mad.
It's crazy.
It's actually
like both
mad.
of them, and Declan Rice's year as a whole in 2025 topped off by just a brilliant performance at Everton. I saw in your FPL 11 points. I might need to be bringing Rice in my team. Just what his 2025 and a whole, and obviously just that Madrid game where that's put Declan Rice in the conversations.
So exactly, I think the Madrid game was beyond Arsenal fans the start of is Declan Rice amongst the names of the top midfielders in the world. Like Arsenal fans had that probably going into Madrid. We was loving it from last season, well, 2 seasons ago, and last year. But I think the two Madrid free kicks, or not even the two free kicks, sorry, because that is sort of downsizing his game. He was
got man of the match in both
he
games,
was
right?
monstrous in that entire tie. And I just feel like that opened up the door for the quote unquote casual or the guy that doesn't watch Arsenal week in, week out to be like, oh, well, Declan Rice is serious. Yeah. And he just carried on essentially that form. He's not giving guys a reason to quickly close the door on him and be like, nah, he's not in that group of the top 3, top 4. I don't know if you've watched the SDS. I was driving back from Stoke and Abs Busquets was on. Obviously, he's a well-renowned Declan Rice hater. Just says he doesn't have it. So they were talking about this game and they were saying Rice again, unbelievable quality. And Abs was like, I just don't think he's one of the best in world football. And they asked him, they were like, name 3 midfielders in this season, this 2025 season, that are as good or better than Declan Rice. And he's gone Pedri. And then after Pedri, he was like, yeah, just like, do you know what? Yeah, actually, I think he's in there. Like, and I think that is where Declan Rice is. Where there's other names. There's Vitinha. There's there's a couple of there's a couple other guys in there, but I think it's tough to name 3 or 4. And this season Jude hasn't had like an amazing 2020, but he's obviously exactly. But it's tough to name 3 or 4 guys that are better than him, and these guys are in debates with him. The Caicedos and the Judes and the Vitinhas, they're in debates with him. So he seems like the real well, maybe it's a bit of recency bias, but he feels like the real mentality focus of the team, bro. He's grown on the pitch in terms of his ability, but man, as a leader, he's grown immensely. And he already came as a club captain from West Ham.
Yeah,
but he's grown like every time we score a goal, every time we concede a goal. Who is it talking to the boys, telling guys? I feel like his voice in those moments is more respected than Odegaard's.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Rooney was talking about it. Wayne Rooney said future England captain as well. Obviously, when Harry Kane leaves or retires, whatever. But yeah, I think Declan Rice has probably almost taken that upon himself to kind of. Not they're all very respectful of Odegaard, and I even saw something with Saka. Saka's like, yeah, we've got leaders in the group. Obviously, Martin's the first leader, so they're all very respectful of that. But I think Declan Rice has almost taken upon itself to put like one foot in that circle.
Yeah. I think we spoke about this in the pod about how Xhaka obviously again deserves a lot of credit. Spoke about when he met Arteta, I became professional that year. I think
I never knew what football was.
Exactly. I think Arteta's got Rice on that program. Rice came and we saw the interviews where he was like, "Oh, Arteta knows so much, and I'm learning."
But you remember how annoyed West Ham fans were about that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he thinks he's never played football before until he got to Arsenal.
But I think, in particular, in the last 12 months, this other aspect of the game in terms of like the leadership and the how to sort of prepare yourself off the pitch for what happens on the pitch stuff. I think Arteta he's tapped in with Rice. Like he's got him on some sort of leadership program or course or some sort of special training. I know in law firms, I used to watch the show Billions, where it was like traders, and they used to have this. It's kind of like a shrink, but to keep the traders competitive.
Yeah.
You remember? So I feel like Rice has one of those people where every day he has like an hour with them just to keep his competitive edge.
Yeah.
Honed in, focused. This is what we're planning. But
that person's probably Mikel. It's probably Arteta. Or Gabriel Haynes, or whoever that person is. Yeah. But yeah, look, I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, I saw the free kicks again, and I was like, damn,
it's nuts.
This really happened.
Yeah.
Like, big shout out to Declan Rice. He's had a big year, and hopefully, he finishes it how we all hope that Arsenal do. But look, we'll move it on because before the Arsenal game on Saturday at 5:30, Liverpool went to Tottenham and we spoke about this game a bit last week. Did a bit of a preview for it, and I said to you that I think Thomas Frank is a better manager than Arne Slot, but I also said that I might cut that out. I ended up leaving it in the pod because I thought this could age well. And look, man, if 11v11,
yeah,
it
exactly.
seemed a bit interesting,
if there's a game not to come on to Thomas Frank, it's this one,
right? It seemed a bit interesting, and obviously, undoubtedly, Liverpool have the better players in probably almost every position. I don't know if there's any Tottenham player that gets into the Liverpool team. Like Tottenham's best player is probably Kudus, and Kudus can't really get into that Liverpool team. So for Thomas Frank to have it looking like that, and then even obviously down to 10 men, Tottenham are still in the game. Even down to 9 men, they still have chances and whatever. But obviously Liverpool do come away 2-1 winners, and the game really turns on the Xavi Simons red card.
Yeah. I mean, it's a horror show, bro, for Tottenham. It's yet another horror show at home. Not that this performance is acceptable anywhere, but like especially at home, bro. If you go to Anfield and you get 2 reds and you lose 2-1, you can maybe do the we showed fight, we showed courage, we showed desire, we were away from home. You can blame refereeing decisions to say, they always go for the big clubs at home, that kind of stuff. But I just think for Tottenham to be at home and to show this level of like petulance and just like it's like a lot of rookie mistakes. Yeah. It's a lot of rookie mistakes. And Xavi Simons, I don't want to get onto him too much because it's one of those ones where it's a bad challenge. Yeah. But he's
kind of slipped.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really his fault.
It's it's one of those ones where it's a red. I'm definitely not here to say it's not a red. Yeah. But it's just one of those ones where like that happens. And then obviously you get the Romero stuff, but just the entirety of the game with the Xavi Simons stuff, with the Romero stuff. As I'm watching Liverpool pass it around when there's 8 outfield players for Tottenham, I'm like, is this a professional football? Are we at the highest level here? Yeah. Is this really where we are? Yeah. And Tottenham fans, they've been asking themselves that question at home all season.
I mean,
are we playing football at the highest level here?
It really wasn't a good game. And you talk about that home record in 2025. Tottenham have won 4 home games.
Yeah,
they've won 4 home league games in the whole, not just this season, the whole of 2025. Yeah. So that speaks to their home record. But obviously, Isak gets the first goal from the Romero mistake. He's trying to play a Hollywood pass on his weak foot. They counter. Obviously, Isak scores the goal. Obviously, the Van der Ven tackle, he comes across, and it's unfortunate that Isak's ended up, obviously, with the leg break and whatever. But that Arne Slot's coming out saying it's a reckless challenge, and a lot of Liverpool fans getting onto Tottenham about the way they play as they do. I don't think it's a reckless challenge, man. Van der Ven just has to go for that ball.
Yeah, he does have to go for that ball.
He has no other choice. And it's just unfortunate that the way Isak's leg has been caught in between.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a same way with Xavi Simons. There's not a malice or an intent to hurt.
No, there isn't.
There's not a malice or an intent to
see both sides though. I'm more on the Van der Ven has to go for it. I'm not like Van der Ven has to go for that. He has to try. He has to do whatever it is. We see it happen bare times, and players just get up and move on and stuff. But I do see it from Arne Slot's side of like, bro, I've got a 120-30 million prized asset here that's just been clattered after a goal. Yeah, like I'm trying to get this guy going. I'm trying to get my season. I'm trying to get my season going, and Van der Ven has just crumpled him after he's already scored. Yeah, and that's it. Now he's broken leg, and how long? So it's maybe more so
unfortunate than reckless.
It's unfortunate than reckless, but I think Arne Slot's making the point of like, you don't want to tap into anybody, of course, but it's already happened to a 125 million pound man. Like I can't see this happening to my next 100 million pound man or my next 80 million pound man. Like, I don't know if the Premier League need to put anything in place and stuff or whatever it is. But I just feel like I hear it because Pep does it all the time. Protect the Pep goes on the protect the players run. It's because
we see those sort of challenges
all the time.
Like Reece James had one in the Newcastle
game.
Yeah. Obviously, it's just unfortunate the way he's landed. And
last ditch challenges, guys love him. When they go, guys love him.
Yeah.
And Dan Ballard, I said Dan Ballard is either breaking Mourinho's leg.
And look, I think Onslaught's obviously, I think he's very frustrated that to him, he said he looked like the Isak was getting to the player that we saw last year.
Yeah, that's
And
where the
then
frustration
obviously,
comes from for us.
right. So that's valid. But look, then the second goal comes, and who's to blame? Yet again, Christian Romero. For now, this one, Thomas Frank is claiming for a foul. He says that's a foul. It's a two-handed push in the back. And again, similar to what you're saying before, I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Because Ekitike does have two hands on his back, but you kind of just need your centre back to be stronger there.
You know, it's so funny because I'm being a bit like hypocritical here. Because I do think Romero needs to be stronger. I don't necessarily think it's a foul, but I remember being outraged when Gabriel had the two-hand shove in the back at Newcastle. And it's kind of different circumstances and scenarios. But
I think this one's more, because you're talking about the Joe Linton one.
Yeah.
I think this one's more similar to the Walter model one
that
we had this year.
That's true. But
I agree with you. That Joe Linton one, to this day, I will never change. That was a foul.
But I think it's more so just that it could be a foul both ways. It's just that this is meant to be your hard man. And I know that shouldn't come into it in terms of a refereeing point of view. Like, ref should just, if a foul's a foul, just call a foul. But with all of it contextualized, I remember when David Luiz gave away a penalty at Wolves, and like the commentators were saying that, everyone knows what David Luiz is like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that shouldn't come into it.
This guy.
Yeah, has he fouled him or not? It shouldn't be like, well, that player always fouls people, so I'm just gonna blow it.
Yeah.
But if you give off that like hard man bravado, I crunch guys, I do real big challenges, I give it the big one. You can't be looking for those kind of fouls.
And that's exactly what we said about Gabriel.
I kind of agree with that, and that's what everyone told us. And I see it both ways. If it was Ben Davies, ref, you might need to blow that. It's unfair.
Yeah.
He's already 2 inches, 3 inches taller than Ben Davies, and he's gonna get two hands on the back. Ref, even this up a little bit. But if it's Romero, he's he's looking to take guys' heads off. Ref, let that
It's a good header from Ekitike. He scored
a good goal.
I think he's got 5 goals in the last 3 Premier League games.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's the kind of goal that
now.
I think as a Liverpool fan, you're kind of gassed about because it doesn't all have to be pretty. And you love the pretty goals. Ekitike has got that in his locker. But the all sorts, the any type of
posterized.
Yeah. And because it's a Frimpong assist, kind of.
Yeah.
I think it means more for those guys, man. You're finding different combinations. You're finding guys that have been in and out the team. They're obviously good friends off the pitch, but you're looking to find solutions without Salah for 4 weeks.
Yeah. Agreed. And at that point, 2-0, Tottenham down to 10 men. You think it should just be wrapped up fairly easily. But Richarlison, who gets a lot of shit, and I'm not saying he shouldn't or he should, but he gets a lot of shit from Tottenham fans. And Tottenham fans don't like him. They think he's terrible. They want him sold, whatever. He scores some big goals.
Yeah.
He scored in the North London derby, right? Albeit they obviously got beat 4-1. You can say it doesn't matter. He's now scored against Liverpool. He seems to be popping up.
No, but my tweet of the week is already the Richarlison is the greatest ever consolation goal scorer.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But
I hear it like
so who else is doing it for Tottenham?
But I said like I understand what Thomas Frank is.
Kolo Muani, we didn't even mention him when we were talking about the strikers.
Yeah. No,
0 goals.
I said that I understand why Richarlison starts for Tottenham. Even after the Arsenal game, I was like, he's the kind of striker that Thomas Frank can trust a little bit, in the sense of like, he's gonna run, he's gonna fight, he's gonna challenge for the balls. Yeah. I don't know if that means he needs to start 90 minutes. I said that maybe there's just 20-minute cameos. You let Colin Wani try and do his thing. But I understand Thomas Frank's persistence with Richarlison, especially if this Tottenham team, like the show of fight from this Tottenham team is so inconsistent, bro. It's so inconsistent. Like certain games that they shouldn't be, well, not that they shouldn't be up for, but certain games that you're like, oh, this is just whatever, they're up for the game. They're scrapping guys. Wolves at home. Paulinho's taking his shirt off. Let's go down to the wire. Yeah. And then there's other games. North London derby. It's like let's be pretty. Let's be cute. Let's be nice.
Yeah.
Like I think for Thomas Frank, Richarlison's like the only guy he can rely on to show some aggression, to hit someone, to let someone know that this is like a Premier League game.
Yeah.
And everyone else in that lineup, like Kudus and all these guys, they have all their other qualities and attributes, but I don't necessarily know if they bring that intensity
Yeah,
every
agreed.
week. And I think that is obviously a large part of why Tottenham was just so up and down.
Yeah, and obviously just the difficulty is that Richarlison just doesn't really have a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But he does have that other stuff, which is somewhat of a positive. Like, if that's going to get you in the team, then that's fair, because Kolo Muani's not really showing that. Obviously, I don't know what injury Solanke has. Or Solanke's been gone for a year now, it feels.
He doesn't feel like a Tottenham player.
Yeah. So, look, fair enough. And then, ultimately, Tottenham are pushing. It's looking like maybe Liverpool are a bit on the ropes here.
Yeah.
Romero he actually wins a free kick.
Yeah.
Konate's fouled him, but then lashes out and he gets a second yellow and he gets sent off.
It's one of the most ridiculous.
Tottenham are down to 9.
Romero, I've never understood the Romero hype. I've always thought he's a clown. I know he has some decent games. I know his ability-wise, he can be there, he can hang with guys. But I just see this all too often. Like, I literally just see this like, this is carbon copy that game that he had at, I think it could have been at home versus Chelsea, when he was clattering into Enzo and clattering into Caicedo. Gave away a penalty. And then they're looking back on VAR and he's like, how can you do that to a human, your own teammate? He just won the World Cup 6 months ago. All that kind of stuff. I just see this all too often from Romero. Like, whenever guys want to put him into any conversation, I literally say, let's look at Tottenham's next 3 games and I can bank for you the Romero shit show. Complete and utter shit show. And I think the worst thing for Tottenham was, this felt for me like Liverpool, like this was their Wolves win. Like, as much as they've won the game and you just take the 3 points and you move on and stuff, like, it was not comfortable at all. And Tottenham had 8 men, and we're talking about how much of a shit show it's been for Xavi Simons and Romero and all
that's still nasty.
Richarlison,
because they've gone away to Tottenham and you're comparing it to us being Wolves.
No, but
Brentford, by the way,
I was so disappointed in Liverpool for how they was moving. Simons got sent off in the 30th minute, and like, you've got 70 minutes damn near.
But Wolves may as well play with 9 players.
They might as well have.
Brentford went there. But I was thinking maybe Wolves get their first win. They've got some.
I'm looking at the like view of the pitch from this wide angle, and it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, all of the players that Liverpool have on the pitch, and Curtis Jones is still trying to run past 3 or 4 guys with the ball to get dispossessed so that Tottenham can recycle. I'm like, how is that? Tottenham shouldn't get a touch on the ball. They have 8 players. They have 8 outfield players. You guys have 10. You're a Premier League team. Get the rondos going.
You're the champions.
Get the 5-a-sides going. Like, I just wanted to see. And look, you get the 3 points. I'm not going to say too much, but like,
no, they lost all composure in that loss, because it shouldn't have been that sticky.
You have a Dutch manager. You don't even have this like Amorim, where it's like his system has been predicated on being defensive, and now he has to be attacking, and it's all switched up. Like, you have an attacking manager that has now an attacking advantage, and it's looking worse.
Yeah.
It's just, it don't make sense to me.
Like, look, it would have been a horrible look for Liverpool if they hadn't come away with that win. If Tottenham had managed,
and that's the credit I do give Richarlison for even putting that thought in our mind.
Yeah, exactly. And because it didn't look like any other Tottenham player were going to do it. I think he is Tottenham's top goal scorer this season. But overall, Thomas Frank, we had a conversation last week. Pressure mounts again.
Yeah, it's dark.
They lost 3-0 to Forest. They've got Palace away and Brentford away. The next 2,
both away. I guess that's maybe silver lining, considering their home form, but those are too tough. Those are too tough away games.
And I think Brentford's on a Thursday night or something.
Yeah. Those are 2 tough away games. I mean, those are 2 teams that had them in the table. So they're must wins. They have to beat them.
But there's not really any noise coming out at all from any journalist that Thomas Frank's job is in any danger, or that Tottenham are looking for an interim in any way.
And I think that's fair. Like, I'm not necessarily sure. Don't get me wrong, Thomas Frank has to do better and quickly. I'm not necessarily sure if it's all a Thomas Frank thing, but I am also sure that it's not all just like a Levy squad thing. Yeah, they didn't have the greatest summer, but they had a decent summer. They got Kudus and they got a couple other positions in. So it's not like their squad is poor, like 13th in the table poor. And it's not like, I don't think their manager is awful, but I don't know where most of the blame should lie at this point. So I would just stick with it until you can really find out what's going on.
Yeah, and you said it at the start of this segment that this one's not on Thomas. Frank.
Yeah.
But
Man.
like you get to a point where it's like
That's too much now.
it doesn't
though.
really matter.
Yeah, there's too much now
because it is just another L on the board.
But the cycle is too much for Tottenham. Like
now you go Palace and Brentford. If you don't win either of those games, even if you get 2 draws, how far? Like you're looking at the table there.
Do you know who's a good manager? Gary O'Neill. He's looking for a job.
But Tottenham fans don't want to go. I saw someone ask Tottenham Tobes on Big Six, would you take Marco Silva? And he was like,
no,
nah,
Tobes can't be deliberating about Marco Silva.
He thought about it and he was like, no. And I was like, what? And a couple of other guys on the panel were like, I don't rate Marco Silva, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I agree with you. Look, Thomas Frank. It's weird, isn't it? Like,
it's not Jan.
Like, we're Arsenal fans. There's Arsenal shirts here. There's Arsenal players on the table. But we've been consistent saying that Thomas Frank's a good manager.
It's not even Jan. Even
if he gets sacked from Tottenham, I don't think our opinion on that is going to change too much. Yeah. The question is more about the level he can potentially manage at. Right?
Yeah.
But I said it last week. Like now, the onus is on, like, as much as Tottenham fans are not happy with pragmatic managers and like you mentioned the point last week, they've done the serial winner, they've done it all, but Thomas Frank needs to show something. He can't just have tenure to do whatever he wants.
He does.
He needs to show those Tottenham fans something to get on board with. It's on him now.
We have to watch this space. Let's just watch this space, because it's the same thing with Man United. Like Amorim isn't the best. Yeah, but like when you do the whole breakdown of games played, wins, losses, draws, all that kind of stuff, it's not a good look. But at the same time, they've stuck with him, and they're still not, like, I know they've lost this weekend, but they're still not like completely out of the goals that they want to achieve for the year. So I wouldn't give up on him just yet, unless there is a clear-cut better manager out there with a style of play or a direction in which you want to take the club in. Otherwise, the merry-go-round continues again.
Yeah.
And maybe you get a Gary O'Neill in, or you go for a more experienced, old, I don't know, English Chris Wilder type, I've been around the block manager. And the cycle starts of like, well, whose players are these?
Yeah. But sometimes in the same breath, you just sack until you find
one. But where might that leave you though?
Where's Thomas Frank leaving them at the minute?
Yeah, like he's got these. He can't lose the next 2 games for sure. He can't lose them.
Like from a semi-neutral point of view, I hear it. Yeah, but if you're putting yourself in a Tottenham fan's shoes,
it's diabolical. You expected better things this season, and you've got more of the same.
And look, Tottenham. We mentioned their next 2 away.
Levy's laughing though.
Yeah, he is. Levy would have sacked him. And Levy would.
When did I show you that clip? I showed that clip like a month ago. Tottenham fans, you would have been. What?
Yeah. Levy would have paid the bag, paid over the odds to bring Poch back and get Poch to sack off the World Cup in the US as USA manager. Levy
or
would have
to
paid
announce
the bag.
it, to announce early after this USA.
He's coming
back to Tottenham, back home,
and we're getting the interim in.
Yeah.
And Tottenham fans will, because that's who Tottenham fans want back. Yeah, which is pathetic, I think. And I still like Pochettino. I still think Pochettino's a good manager. Obviously, but he's gone to Chelsea, and Tottenham fans are still desperate.
He's still there, man.
It's
crazy. It's crazy.
But look, the pressure is mounting. And Tottenham need to start picking up results, because it's not looking good for Thomas Frank right now. But you mentioned Man United there, so we may as well talk about them. They obviously went to Villa Park off the back of a 4-4 game at Man United. Now, just on the Amorim point with Thomas Frank, obviously we think Thomas Frank's a better manager than Amorim. But if we're just taking this season, forget about what Amorim did last season, which was obviously horrendous with the Europa League. But if we're just taking this season, and more important, like, it got to a point in the season where United fans were really, the Everton at home game, followed by West Ham, where United fans were really just, this is boring, this is terrible, stale football. We don't want to watch this, whatever. They've then gone to the Wolves game where they won 4-1. The the Bournemouth game where they drew 4-4, right? And this Villa game where I actually think United were the better team.
Right,
yeah, which is shocking, right? At Villa Park, that they were actually the better team, and obviously it was individual brilliance on Villa's side, which we'll get to. But on that point, Amorim has consciously or unconsciously made a change to the side that gives Man United fans a bit more to cling on to, right? It's not much.
It's not much, but something.
It's not much, but exactly, it's
100%,
something, right?
100%.
It's more than what Thomas Frank is giving Tottenham fans right now. They've gone to Wolves, they scored 4 goals, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they've drawn 4-4 at Bournemouth. They could have lost that game. The defending was horrible, but they've scored 4 goals. Right? And now they've gone to Villa Park, and they've to be the better team at Villa Park. Obviously, the result is the most important thing, but that's a credit, right? I thought United played pretty well in that game. He's at least giving the United fans something to think, even if it's only for 3 games. But that's all I'm asking for from Thomas Frank. Give these Tottenham fans something for 3 games, 4 games, just a small period where they can see something. Now, obviously, on the United side, they go 1-0 down. Rodgers with one of the one of the goals of the season. Unbelievable finish. Cunha obviously gets them back into it. And before we carry on the game quickly, because we spoke about it at the top, but we podded before the Man United Bournemouth game. Obviously, I know Bruno Fernandes got injured in the Villa game, but I think Bruno Fernandes almost deserves a segment,
a special man. Yeah. He's been balling.
Bruno Fernandes this season. Like who would have thought? Like we used to say that Bruno was just like he's a 10 and like he's a luxury player and all of this. He's playing as a 6. He's been playing as a 6 for a year. Right, and just over a year, and he's still putting the goals up. He's still putting the assists up. He's still putting the number chances created.
And they still don't have a standout goal scorer. Like everyone is still chipping in. Everyone gets his for a bit. Ahmad will get his. Cunha's now getting his. Sesko's got 2 earlier in the season. So it's not even like Bruno's got the Cavani, Ronaldo guy to feed off of or to feed. He's still got to like, oh, is that you over there? Is this one? Or I'll use that foot, this foot. I agree. He's balling and he's playing deeper. He's playing out of position. He's one of the better 10s in the league in terms of quality and what he can do. And
I think I don't know if we have this conversation. If we should have this conversation, but I think he's the best 10 in the league.
I think he's in the conversation with the best 10 in the league. I don't think he's like. I don't think he's out of it. I don't think he's head and shoulders above everybody else. But it's tough.
Yeah, not head and shoulders. But
it's tough because. No, I
think he is the best 10.
He's
and he's playing as a 6.
If we're saying like for this 25-26 season, yeah. He's been the best creative player in the league. He's as I say, it's weird, man. Man United had goal scoring issues last season. They've signed players, but none of them have necessarily been standout goal scorer. But somehow Man United have scored more goals.
Yeah.
You know,
well, they're all chipping in, right? Like you said,
Bruno finally he's like a quarterback that finally has 1 or 2 wide receivers.
Yeah,
like he finally has 1 or 2 guys. Yeah. Like, look at what I can do with just 1 or 2 guys to throw to.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
He's making it work, and he deserves the respect, man. He definitely deserves the respect. Yeah. It's
I think the hate and
the stuff has died down.
Overrated and
yeah.
Or even if it hasn't died down, I just think it should.
I think it gets interesting because he's done interviews.
Yeah.
He's done interviews and he's spoken about how he wants time in Italy and he wants time in Spain. And he's 31.
Hey, in the summer, but do you remember all those conversations about in the summer, should Man United take the 100 million for Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah.
Could they spend that on? And obviously, we'll never know. Right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
But the point was also there that if they do lose, they just finished 15th. If they do lose Bruno Fernandes,
yeah, what happens to them? And I also don't think that if you lose Bruno Fernandes, you can sign 2 players. You can sign a Bolton and a Baleba, maybe. But I don't think that means that you've replaced Bruno.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, like you've got 2 good midfielders, very good midfielders. You can be excellent midfielders. But I don't know if that means that you've replaced Bruno, specifically because Bruno directly results into winning football matches. Like his influence. Wharton and Baleba guys are nice, but sometimes it's like Wharton, for example. It's so tough to directly attribute what Wharton does to winning football games because it's it's all like it's proper sick stuff.
Yes,
Progressive passes and controlling the tempo and all that other stuff that's like tough to measure. Whereas Bruno's got a couple goals, couple of assists, late winner here, late assist there.
I mean, the Jing Bang level. If they lose the Bruno Jing Bang, I don't think OT's looking as
what was
scary
the Tottenham game when he gets the assist off the corner for De Ligt? When this should be done.
Yeah,
you should have lost this one in a topsy-turvy defeat to Tottenham at home.
Yeah.
But no, Bruno's just going to put in a great ball for De Ligt to go and grab an assist in the 89th, 90th, whatever. Direct points directly.
Yeah.
Like
the Crystal Palace one, they're 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Bruno gets 2 assists, they win 2-1.
Like, unless Wharton, and who's a great player, Baleba, great player, unless they have that ability to just directly change a game, take it over, get the assists, get the goals that you need, it's going to be super tough to replace Bruno, even with 100, 120. But I do think, depending on what a manager can do with the other pieces, like Mbeumo and Cunha should be pieces that should be getting you more. Mount, Mount should be getting you a lot. And I know Man United fans are kind of happy with Mount the last couple of weeks, but he's like an Odegaard thing. Like, you're a 10, bro. You're an 8, you're a 10. You have the ability to score. How long do we have to put up with 1 goal, 2 assists?
Yeah.
Like, start chipping in, bro. Start being a Trossard. Start being a guy who's coming off the bench and he's got to have impact.
Yeah. And even having said that, Mason Mount does have one Premier League goal, I think. So Odegaard, we need to get there. But yeah, look, Rodgers then goes, he scores the second goal, another good goal.
Rodgers is balling, he's the most in form.
Yeah, I mean, Lenny Yoro's having a tough time of it at the minute.
Yeah.
They were telling us Saliba, watch out.
They were saying a lot.
Stolen from Real Madrid.
But they're also speaking about this Aiden Heaven guy like he is an Arsenal graduate through and through. He's almost as if he's from Man United.
Aiden Heaven's better than Yoro. Well, of course. He's from Hairland.
Yeah. He's nice on the ball.
Yeah. Oh. Have you seen what hair?
Saka's been having the one-to-ones with him.
I saw Saka talking about. Saka was like, "Yeah, there's a lot of Hairland graduates all around the league."
With the new Chelsea, with the new Cobham.
But yeah, look, Morgan Rodgers. That's the conversation we have to have because Villa weren't great. I don't think Unai Emery's tactical plan worked at all in that game. I think Amorim had all the spaces, everything.
Well, Martinez was looking like Pirlo.
Yeah, genuinely when he came on that second half. Yeah, like... Cunha's obviously missed the header. Second half as a sitter, but the difference being that Morgan Rodgers on that pitch can change the game.
These 2 goals from Morgan Rodgers are what I'm looking for our Arsenal guys to do. When I'm talking about, like, is someone going to have that this season? Or when I was going to Villa saying the managers can coach a 1-1, but we need our players, one of our quality players, Saka or Eze, to step up and just be the difference. This is what I'm talking about in terms of being the difference. The teams are evenly matched. The coaching plans are evenly matched. Maybe, as you say, Amorim's slightly ahead of Ruben Amorim. But Morgan Rodgers has decided that I'm in form. I'm having this kind of season. I've got the quality to decide this game, which we love to see.
Yeah,
100%. We love to see it. Morgan's doing all the right things. This Villa title charge, for me, it rests solely on Morgan Rodgers' shoulders. I don't think it's possible for them to be in a title race, but the top 4 charge for sure, they're in that.
Well, I mean, Villa's next 2 games are Chelsea away and Arsenal away. Those are the next 2 Premier League games. So I'm thinking if Villa pick up 4 points from those 2 games, I think we have to start taking them seriously.
They've done well there.
Yeah. Last week we were obviously saying that we don't think they'll keep the pace and whatever. If they get 4 points from those 2 games, which obviously is in Arsenal's hands to make sure that doesn't happen, and obviously Chelsea's as well. And I'm not saying that I think they're going to do that, right? But if they do, I think that's a point now where we start maybe taking them a bit seriously.
I take them a bit more seriously for sure if they get 4 points out of those next 2 games. I still just think the depth is going to be an issue, and then once these Europa League quarterfinals, semi-finals start kicking in and Emery's back in, what do I do thing?
He's throwing full tilt.
Because he knows I can win the Europa, and how good will that look?
Yeah. I'll get Champions League that way and tail off in the league. Agreed.
But Rodgers, it's all on him. He is balling, bro. He is being the difference. He is a headache for any manager to game plan around, and any manager like Tuchel, for example, in terms of what he's going to do in the summer. He's got to go, for sure. We're all in agreement of that. The conversation now is whether he starts, whether he doesn't start. Where does he start? If he does start,
I was thinking about for a couple of weeks now, because we obviously did a video picking Tuchel's first team, which is one of our best performing videos. I was like, maybe we'll do the World Cup one, but I think we're gonna save that for around March time when the actual squad
when everyone's
gets
there.
That's what we did last time. We'll do it before Tuchel announces his.
How far do you think it can go for Rodgers? Because like Rice, bro.
Well, I was gonna ask you.
Like Rice, Morgan's 2025 from just the top of the year, because he has those goals versus PSG and those Champions League goals. I don't know if he scored versus Bayern as well when they beat them, but he's had the phenomenal year. That game versus Man City that I still love, him and John Duran, the 2-man step.
Tottenham game.
I still love. He's had a hell of a year, a hell of a 2025. You know, he only signed was in Jan 2 seasons ago, innit?
Yeah.
So his come up has been.
I think we when we did our awards last year or whatever, I think we had Rodgers as the breakout star.
Yeah.
So because that was like his first full season. Season. But in terms of the England thing, is that number 10 spot his to lose at the minute?
At the minute, it's his to lose. It's easy to say that. At the minute, it's his to lose because he's the most informed English 10 in the league, and Foden has something to say about I'm taking Rodgers' skill set over Foden's. Yeah. So it definitely is his to lose, but I think it's semi-unfair to Morgan unless he wins the Europa League. Because I think when it comes down to the business end of the season and whoever, Arsenal might pick up a Carabao, City might pick up a Carabao, and someone might be in a Champions League quarterfinals, I think it's his to lose right now because he's playing very well. But when the Fodens and the Palmers and the Ezes and the Judes start to play in their like quarterfinals, semi-finals for their cup competitions, that's when they really like eat all the glory. They hog all the glory from anybody else that isn't dining at the top table. Unless you're playing for a top team that always makes the quarter, semis, whatever of those cup competitions. As we were talking about, Declan Rice 2 free kick goals. And those aren't going to displace Rodgers from the squad. He's going to make the squad, no doubt. But it's just whether or not they become starters again. Can Jude do a little Champions League run, or La Liga, or whatever their FA Cup equivalent is? I can't remember now. Same thing with Foden. If Foden ends up scoring, if he has Carabao Cup final madness, him and Haaland 2-man step, they score 2-3 goals each. Carabao Cup final, can Tuchel overlook that kind of, because all the media is there, all the hype is there, king and queen, guys are applauding. That's the only stuff where I feel a bit for Morgan, because he's not at that table yet.
Like you say, he's gonna have to do his thing in the Europa League.
Exactly.
Maybe FA Cup, they've got Tottenham away in that first round.
Yeah.
Maybe if they find a way something. But I said it to you off air. At the same time, I do also think like that's going to make it difficult if they have Jude or Foden or Eze or Palmer have these Champions League runs. It will make it difficult. But I do feel like Morgan Rodgers is going to sound a bit contradictory, but almost doesn't have to do as much to be the starting number 10 for England. Like those guys can have those monster runs, but if Morgan Rodgers is doing what he needs to do to get to the Europa League semi-final with Aston Villa or whatever,
it's seen as an equivalent.
But yeah, look, Tuchel, it's a good headache for him to have, and we'll talk more on that when we do pick the squad. But look, we mentioned Palmer there. He did start at St. James's Park, 12:30 Saturday. Newcastle were all over Chelsea in the first half. Should have been 3-0 up. And game over. But Chelsea came back in the second half, and you messaged me making sure that you had your segment on this show, so I'm just going to hand this over to you.
Yeah, man. I don't know where to start.
You had a lot to say about Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a game of two halves. I guess starting with Newcastle, I was just really disappointed in Newcastle. It was a great game for a neutral.
That second half was giving me anxiety, and I'm not even a Newcastle Chelsea fan. The way that was end to end in that second half.
It's a great game for a neutral, but if I'm a Newcastle fan, if I'm somebody that wants Newcastle to do well, I'm more upset with the draw, then then Chelsea or whatever.
For sure,
If you're
for
asking
sure.
about who's more happy with the draw, for sure it's a Chelsea fan, because I just don't know how many times Newcastle can do this in a season. As you were saying, giving up leading positions, dropping points from leading positions. No one's done it more than Newcastle this season. But for me, it's like you've lost to Arsenal, you've lost to Liverpool, you beat City. I think there was another. You've drawn with Tottenham, and you were winning all of these games. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just on this, like, at what point do you really start to put points on the board? But I've been saying this all pod, like Newcastle, we speak about them. Newcastle have a big win. I look at the table, Newcastle are 13th, 14th. Newcastle, they have a big win. I look at the table, Newcastle are up into 12th with other guys having games to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at,
Yeah.
at what point does the rubber meet the road? At what point does Eddie Howe say, I'm done with being just tough to beat and I'm focusing on winning games at home? Like, I need to win games at home. I know Chelsea are a good team. I know Chelsea get up for the big games. But when you're 2-0 up against a Chelsea team that haven't turned up for 45 minutes, you can't draw that game.
Yeah. I agree.
Not with the goals that you want to achieve. You want to get top four. Villa, as I was telling you, Villa beat us. They beat City at their place already. Yeah.
And now Man United.
And now Man United. In games where it was all wins were available for them, they took those wins. Yeah. Villa are obviously trying to get top four, if not finish higher. So Emery's got the plan, or Emery's got the boys sort of dialed in to the point where good performances, these moral victories aren't enough anymore. And don't get me wrong, I will watch Newcastle's next game versus a Big Six team at St James's Park. I love those games, but it's got to be more than just like some sort of spectacle for Newcastle. It's got to be more than like, oh, we gave it a good go,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we've just come up short again. Because you won't climb the table constantly going 2-0 up or having leads and dropping points to these teams. Like,
Yeah.
it just, as I said, for me, they just feel a lot like Michael China. They are gatekeepers, and it's cool being a gatekeeper unless you're actually a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not at the big boy table. You're not even mediocre or bottom of the league. You're just like perennially on the fringe. Like, you're forever on the fringes of something good or something decent, and you have no momentum to get you over the hump. It must be so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm frustrated. I'm not even a Newcastle fan.
Yeah,
I'm frustrated.
But I think Newcastle fans share that sentiment, and I think Newcastle fans know that this isn't good enough, and the way that they keep throwing away leads. They've done it in the Champions League as well, Marseille and Leverkusen and teams like that. But like you say, Tottenham, they've thrown it away. Chelsea, they've thrown it away. Obviously, there was Liverpool and Arsenal, but
even at 2-2, that's a winnable game. Like,
yeah,
I get it. They've pegged you back. Reece James will score a great goal, and João Pedro, there's a slip from Thiago, all this kind of stuff. But it's 2-2. There's 50 minutes to go. It becomes a 50-minute football game. Take our chances, and you get the chances.
Yeah. And look, Newcastle had the chances. Harvey Barnes had one.
Yeah,
Elanga, whoever else, but there is blame to be put on Eddie Howe for sure, because look, we both watched that game, yeah, and in that second half, after Reece James has scored the free kick, like it was just so obvious to me that Eddie Howe's got to make a change here, because how end to end it was a basketball game, that second half. I said it gave me anxiety. I'm not even a fan of either of those teams.
Yeah.
But watching it had my heart rate up.
Yeah,
right?
It's nuts.
Because I'm seeing Garnacho 1v1 with a 4v2 Chelsea overload. I'm seeing Barnes and Elanga swing this way. And I'm obviously, like you say, for a fan, for a neutral, whatever, great game. But from a manager's point of view,
yeah,
like you should be looking at that like, this is completely not what I want. I don't want this long transition game. Now, Jacob Ramsey, who we did actually say last week was a decent player, was horrible. Yeah, I didn't even. He started. He somehow managed to play like 85 minutes. I have no idea how. Eddie Howe's been talking about Joelinton. He's been picking Joelinton on the bench, and he's been saying that Joelinton's carrying a bit of a knock, and we can only really use him in emergency scenarios, like to defend a corner or whatever. that last 20 minutes, especially because I'm saying after the Reece James goal, after the João Pedro goal, how you still haven't learned, because that should have been prevented, right? If you'd made the change earlier, that this is an emergency scenario where Joe Linton, you might need that extra athleticism. If you're gonna accept that this is how the game is gonna be, then get Joe Linton.
Then get Joe Linton in there.
Like Eddie Howe, I think takes quite a lot of blame because he didn't. I don't think he made a change until after he'd gone to 2-2.
Yeah.
Right, and then he starts making his changes.
I just feel like it's like, that kind of stuff. Maybe you get away with early in the season, maybe with the Liverpool one, maybe with the R1. But because you've already had those defeats, those burning defeats in the 90th minute, I don't know how there is still games. Like, you have no rope to play with. You need points on the board now to get back up to where guys are, to be in with a chance of finishing inside the top 5. So whatever decision you think is going to get you within the top 5, make that decision instantly.
Yeah.
If like it's like a fighter who's won 4 rounds, still trying to stand and bang with a guy. No, bro, take him down. Yeah, make this boring. Like, fans are going to be booing you from the stands, and the crowd are going to get on you. But your coach is happy. Your coach is very happy because you're coming home with the win. You're coming home with the belt. You're coming home with the dub. You saw Chimaev say it. Like, I could have done more, but I just wanted the belt. That's all I wanted was the belt at the end of the day. So I win on decision, and that's that. Like, that was really what was annoying me about Newcastle, was like, you've done the hard part in terms of showing that you're a brilliant team, or showing that you can mentally respond from Sunderland and you can mentally respond from these defeats, and is there quality in this side? You've shown that. You've had a great first half. You're 2-0 up.
Yeah, brilliant first half.
So I don't understand how you can let that go to waste. And now we're asking the same old questions that we're asking against Sunderland and against all these other teams, because you failed to string together a 90-minute performance, because you're too attacking in one half or you're too defensive in another half. And bro, it's just so mix and match. It just screams like, as you said, I think it's I'm not getting onto Eddie Howe because I still think Eddie Howe's a great manager, but it does scream like a bit of poor management, a bit of poor like understanding of the squad.
And similarly to what we've said about Thomas Frank and Amorim, and even with Arsenal and a couple of the results recently, you could look at this game and say, well, Newcastle should have had a Stonewall penalty. The Chalobah challenge. They've gone 2-0 up. Baltimore's missed a sitter. Barnes has missed a sitter. And it's taken a Reece James triple X Factor goal and Ramsdale lag.
And a goal line block from
classic Ramsdale lag. I haven't missed at all, because I still think Ramsdale should save that. And a mistake from Thiaw to draw the game. So that is how you could phrase it. But like I said with the other guys, it's now a culmination. It's happened more.
I'm not looking at it in isolation. I agree with you.
There's
100%.
Tottenham, there's Liverpool, there's Marseille. There's it's happened too many times now for you to look at this one and say, oh, well, they scored a great free kick and then capitalized on one of our mistakes.
Yeah. For me, it depends on what your ambitions are, Newcastle. If your ambitions are to be 8th, between run-of-the-mill, like, slap bang mid-table team, you'll take that. You'll take a point versus Chelsea. We've not been beaten by a top 6 side. You'll take a point versus Tottenham. But if you're trying to push for the top 4, top 5, some of these losses have to be draws. Some of these draws have to be wins, especially at home. Especially at home. Like, now you've got to go to the Etihad, and you've got to go to Anfield, and you've got to come to the Emirates, and you've got to go to
Stamford Bridge,
all these kind of places. And now you're telling yourself, I have to go and win at Stamford Bridge. I have to go and win at...
I mean, the next game on Friday, Boxing Day, Old Trafford.
They
go to. But yeah, it's an interesting one, because I feel like Newcastle, it like you say, the reason the gap between, like, they win a game, they're 12th. They draw a game, they're 13th. They win a game, they're 11th. Is because of all of these draws and losses that you're saying need to turn into draws or wins. The gap's just getting bigger and bigger, right? So when you get your wins, you're not actually going that much up.
That's why the rope is run out, bro. They're at the end of the plank. Like, it is jump or it's do or die time, and it still feels as if they're playing around. Like, oh, we've still got time to tinker and tweak and find out our best rotations and our finishers and our starters. It's December now.
For sure.
You need to know who your finishers and starters are.
The massive game for them on Boxing Day at Old Trafford.
Huge.
Look, both teams probably need to go into that and get a result. United off the back of a loss as well. So that'll be interesting. But look, we're not going to talk about any of the other games.
Yeah.
Man City was business as usual. We've spoken about Man City the last couple of weeks. We don't really need to say anything there. Tweet of the week,
I said my first tweet of the week was
Richarlison.
Richarlison, but I think I've got another one. There was another one that killed me.
My one was actually one that you sent me. Marco Silva gets given a team of 76 overalls every season, and Fulham are never really in danger. Serious gaffer.
Yeah. Another tweet of the week I have is Matthias Tell, by the way. Poor guy. He's played more than 15 minutes 3 times this entire season. Career suicide. The treatment of him generally pisses me off. That makes me laugh because I actually don't know what's up with Matthias.
40 million.
He's played 15 minutes more than 3 times. That's
ridiculous.
Only 3 times. No more than 3 times.
I thought you were going to say the Jimmy Butler one.
Yeah, that one.
You
ain't
gonna worry about that, bro.
Yeah.
All right, MVPs and rookies. Now, I said we weren't going to cover any of the other games, but MVP, massive MVP. Shout out Leeds United and Daniel Farker. 4-1 against Crystal Palace. Nobody puts 4 past Palace.
Yeah, no one.
Nobody
does
that.
No one.
But yeah,
and DCL.
Yeah. The DCL heater
because DCL, I can't
it's
believe
a serious heater.
I can't believe it.
But,
I guess you got to give Marco and Fulham just doing what they need to do.
But in terms of the Leeds thing, I'm giving Leeds a massive shout out and the first MVP from me because they're making it difficult for West Ham. They're making it difficult for West Ham. And I'm not saying that I want West Ham to go down.
No, West Ham are 5 points away from safety, by the way.
Exactly, because the run Leeds have been on.
Yeah, and Leeds, they're not even the closest. It's Nottingham Forest.
And West Ham play Fulham this weekend. So that's a mass, because if Fulham, look at the gap there. What's the gap between Fulham and West Ham?
Yeah, Fulham are on 23, West Ham on 13, 10 points.
Yeah, so if that goes to 13, then West Ham know they're not catching Fulham. So they have to look at the other teams. So that's a massive game for West Ham.
That is actually quite dark. That is actually quite dark.
Because what West Ham in previous seasons have banked on is that the 3 promoted teams are terrible.
Yeah.
So they'll just go back down and we don't have to be that good. But Sunderland are obviously there, so they picked up another point away at Brighton. And Leeds are just, they've been the surprise package now because West Ham, I think West Ham fans are getting.
Sunderland are still.
Yeah. They got a good point away at Brighton. 0-0 clean sheet.
100%.
Yeah, well, I think West Ham fans are getting nervous now because Leeds are.
They're coming.
Leeds are looking good.
For real, Daniel Farker deserves all the credit, all the praise.
Any other MVPs?
Yeah, AJ. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I'll give it only because you've done it. I was gonna get onto you big time if you did, if you'd won on decision, if you'd won on even on the TKO. But he needed to go down. There needed to be physical pain. I needed everybody to be like, this is the difference between a boxer and a middleman. I'll also give Anderson Silva an MVP, 50 years old.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley is a rookie.
Yeah,
I don't know what Tyron Woodley. How is he still getting the call? It's unfair. Well, he can't.
You know why? Because Jake Paul's fought both of them, innit? He's fought Anderson Silva and Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley can't. He shouldn't be able to pass CTE protocol. He has like a permanent concussion. Tyron Woodley. I don't know.
No, the way Tyron Woodley gets slept.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I've got Romero as a rookie.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, he has to be.
Of course.
And I'll give Gyökeres an MVP.
Yeah, well, winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner. I'll give Emery an MVP as well. Emery's doing his thing. Mm-hmm. I know this game wasn't an Emery win, but from where Villa were to I still have to say that I don't think they're in the title race. I need to be able to stop saying that comfortably because the table shows it.
Yeah.
So shout out to Emery for keeping them in it.
For even being there. Being in the conversation. Yeah, for sure. Look, I think that's it from us.
Yeah.
Like I said at the top of the show, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Thank you for the support and love on the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode, and we should be back with another one next week. So enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your presents, all of that. The food. Don't listen to Pep. You can eat what you want to eat. Have fun.
Yeah. Pep, no one's wearing you post-Christmas.
No one's wearing you when you come back and wearing you before you go. That's just Pep, and that's what Pep's on. Right. So Enjoy yourselves, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace.